Lobotomy, huh?
Yeah. A little behind my generation.
I was told
I'm gonna buy a CD.
I was told I needed a lobotomy when I was a kid.
Probably still need one, but
Probably, I think I do. But listen, our feature act for tonight is a well-respected rock star who toured with everybody from the best to the unknown. He toured and played with Ace Frehley from Kiss, Sebastian Bach from Skid Row, Leslie West from Mountain. He's also a producer, and he's a good friend of mine, the Emperor of Rock and Roll himself, Richie Scarlet. Let's give it up. Richie.
Johnny, how you doing, baby? All right.
it is a pleasure to meet you.
Richie, you're a man of many talents. I mean, I know you for a long time, but without the insanity of your life right now, why don't you tell everybody what your new project is? We have the Richie Scarlet Live in Japan DVD. And why don't you tell us a little about that?
Yeah, this is the latest thing. This is from Tokyo. Went over there last February with Carl Allwire and Steve Budgie Werner. And amazing culture and just an amazing part of the world. Got to play in Tokyo, and this is it. This is all captured here, and it's a beautiful thing.
How do you find the Japanese people out there?
Well, I had toured Japan with a bunch of different bands. I didn't know what it'd be like going there on my own, but they're very excitable people. They get very, very excited. So it went over really well.
Now listen, what's this new project that you're working on with Dennis Dunaway from the original bass player from the Alice Cooper band?
He's one of my rock heroes.
All right.
From the original Alice Cooper group. It's a project called the Fifth Avenue Vampires.
Right.
And it includes Joe T. and Russ Wilson and myself. And Dennis and I are writing the music. Joe T.'s writing the lyrics, and we're cutting it at Primetime Sound in Mount Vernon, New York, with Tarek Solangi engineering it, and it's a blast just working with somebody you know, that you grew up with.
Of course.
Who's as cool as him.
I mean, with all the rock stars and celebrities that you jammed with and played with, what was the most memorable moment for you out of anyone?
I don't know. I was there's a lot of hazy moments there. I don't know. I think one of the most fun tours I did was with Peter Criss and Ace, the Bad Boys tour.
That was great. I was at a lot of those shows with you.
That was just a lot, you know, nonstop fun, and really that's what it's all about, man. It's about having fun, and you know, it's that point of rock and roll when you have that much fun and getting paid for it at the same time. You can't beat it. On the other hand, which one of your idols that you played with that was the most memorable? Just playing with the guys from the original Alice Cooper group, all those guys.
Yeah.
Michael Bruce, Neil Smith, Dennis, Glenn Buxton. That was definitely, that's like you jumping up there with Kiss.
When you well, Richie Scarlet actually brought me up, and I'll never forget him to play with Ace Frehley from Kiss. That was like unexpected. He got up and played with No Redding from Jimi Hendrix band. I brought you up with that.
That was an honor to play with that man, and growing up the big Jimi Hendrix fan that I was and still am, and jamming with Noel Redding down on Bay Street. That was a beautiful thing. You know, it was so cool, because I used to talk a lot of nonsense when I was younger, and then once I got to play with Ace Frehley, that kind of erased all the stuff I did when I was younger, you know? So it was all good. Now listen, you're playing with a lot of people on the side, you're doing a lot, and you're a producer in your own right. Who are you producing these days, and what's coming out? Well, I'm producing, right now, 2 different guitar players, a guy named Eric D., and a guy named Steve Lyle from Scotland. Yeah, I heard him. He's great. Right, he's a great player. And I'm also involved with the greatest blues singer I've ever heard in my life. Her name is Roxy Perry. Yeah, she has some vocals. Roxy Perry and I will be doing a show together June 20th in Point Pleasant, New Jersey. We're headlining the Blues and Jazz Festival. Okay. So, you know, I try to stay constantly creative, because if I don't, I get in too much trouble. You know? But so right now I just thank the good Lord that I'm still here and doing all these projects, and you know, looking forward to just staying creative, man. That's what it's all about. Well, we go back a long time. I met you in 1990. I remember kicking your ass when you were about 15. I met Richie in 1990, actually, at the Kiss Expo.
And how did the Kiss Escrow treat you? How was the experience with that for the years?
Well, it was great. I mean, playing with Ace Frehley definitely opened a lot of doors, and you know, that was another chapter in my life, and it was a great time, and you know, that's what brought us together in the first place.
Richie hooked me up backstage to all the shows, everything. It was the best. I'll never forget those days.
You know, I look at my life as in chapters, and that was a really, you know, that was rock and roll. You can't get any more rock than that.
Now, I got one of your first records from your band, the Seducers.
I just lost the drummer from the Seducers, Billy Lomax.
Okay.
So, you know, it makes you appreciate life, man. And so I appreciate every day being on Earth now, you know, absolutely. And
you got a beautiful wife, Joanne.
Got a beautiful wife, Joanne.
We got to say hello to Joanne Scarlet out there.
How you doing, baby?
What's up, the Dragon Lady?
Yes, and somehow she's put up with me all these years. But I love her dearly, and she's, you know, definitely helped grounding me, and I probably, you know, without her, who knows where I'd be right now.
Now listen, why don't you talk fast? Why don't you tell everybody, what was one of the most funniest? Richie Scarlet produced my old group, NYB, and we had a lot of fun times. I'll never forget them for the rest of my life. Name like a funny time or a crazy adventure.
You know, doing that record with Johnny, you know, we'd spend 2 weeks doing guitar tracks with a guitar player, and then he'd call me up and he'd say, you know, I don't want this guy on a record now. Get him off. So I said, well, Johnny, we just spent 2 weeks, you know, I don't want him on a record. I threw him out. So we'd get another guy. Then we'd get another guy. Then we'd get, you know. So a lot of guys came and went, and there was a lot of great times making that record.
Well, you know what it was? Our one main guitar player had issues, so every time he came back, we had to get another guitar player. Then
but
when he came back,
in the end, all you guys stood up to the plate, man.
And you hooked me up with Doug Palmer, who's now like one of my best friends. I love
Dougie
the guy.
Palmer,
He's in the audience.
One of the best singers in New York, hands down. So.
Now listen, for anyone to get in touch with you through the web, you got your MySpace, Richie Scarlet.
MySpace, which you can order all kinds of merchandise, and RichieScarlet.com.
Exactly, but we didn't even get to talk about, he's coming out with, what, your 6th solo album?
Yes, it will be my 6th record.
Yeah, and, Richie has 6 solo albums.
This one here is, you know, they all kind of take their own way. This one is called My Own Worst Enemy, and I'm about 75% done with it, and you know, I'm real happy with it, so, you know.
Well, best of luck with everything. So, anything else you want to say before we wrap this up? Anything?
No, but Johnny, you're doing a great job with the show.
I try. I don't know.
And,
coming along. Thank you so much, Richie. You're always an inspiration to me.
Excellent job, Frankie. All you guys. So
why don't you go up there and show? You know, let's go
let's
rock
and
out.
roll.
That's it, man. Let's do it.
do it.
All right, Richie Scarlet, everybody.